This Steve Jones Show podcast is now loading. The Steve Jones Show podcast is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Brewers Outlet, and Purdy Insurance. Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Sunbury Motor Company, Purdy Insurance, and Brewers Outlet. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
I have good news for you.
Okay.
You have no responsibilities this half hour.
That is awesome. Best news I've had all day.
Imagine how I feel. So this half hour brought to you by Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. Auto, home, life, boat, motorcycle, RV, acquaintance insurance. No, I'm just kidding.
They have that?
They're considering it. I don't know why.
I have no idea.
I don't know what inspired it.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Yeah.
Ask anybody. I have no clue.
You've sort of built your entire life and career on those two words.
Not going to deny anything. Can't deny facts.
Customer service means everything to them. That's why they do everything they can to save you money. It is all at Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. All right. We talked about the 12-team playoff. I don't mind it stays there. I don't like the fact that Notre Dame gets an automatic if 12. To me, you get.
I don't like that at all. I don't like any automatic anything.
Well, the conference championship thing, I can understand.
All right, yeah, but that's not the same. That to me, that's not an automatic because you've actually figured out a way to get there.
I mean, most conference champions are in the top 12 anyway. Not all. I mean, we saw Duke this year win, and they beat Virginia, which was ranked 16th going into the game. Sometimes you have an outlier like that, but the vast majority of conference champions in college football are in the top 12. And I'm talking about among the Power Four.
But again, you're not getting an automatic berth. You're actually winning your way in. So that doesn't, Notre Dame, what the deal that Notre Dame has, that is, they're not winning their way in. That is just exactly what it is, an automatic bid.
Well, first of all, one of the keys for me is that everybody bends over backwards for Notre Dame.
Right.
And my question is, why?
Well, I mean, look what the conference did.
You're either
to
good
put
or
them in.
not.
Look what the conference did to get them in.
I mean,
it's like, okay, well, you want to be part of the conference, but you don't really have to be part of the conference. But you know what? If you're part of the conference and you play some of our games, why don't we just give you our bowl bid? It's like, what?
Oh, yeah, Big East did that, so did the ACC.
Right.
And I don't get it. I mean, that's the part. I don't get it at all because I know they're a great brand. There's no getting around that.
Absolutely.
And over the years, for the most part, they've had a great program. Well, but they went through a period of time where they were good, not great. But you have to earn what you get in life. And I realize in this particular year, should they have been in? Yeah, I would have put them in. The problem was not Miami. The problem was that you had two group of 6 teams in there in James Madison and Tulane because of the 5 conference champion rule. And I'm sorry. I know it's adorable to have one in there. I mean, so far, you got to give them all credit. They're 0 for 3 in terms of being competitive. I mean, they've all been dusted off. I know, I did one of the games and never thought for a second Boise State was in the game. I did the Fiesta Bowl and never thought for a second Boise State was in the game. Sorry. And everybody wants to think like, hey, yeah, this is great. The little guy gets a chance. Whatever. I don't mind one being in. If they go to 16, I don't mind one being in. That doesn't bother me. But the best teams should be in. You're playing for the national championship. And that's how I look at it. So Notre Dame, you've got to earn your way in. And I realize that they try to do elements with their schedule where they schedule a Miami. They do schedule a Texas A&M. Now, they had USC. They don't have that, at least in the near future, they don't have that. They'll have BYU instead. Well, for the most part, their schedule is like, if anybody else had that schedule, you'd be like, okay. I mean, they didn't have to play Indiana. They didn't have to play Ohio State. They didn't have to play at Iowa. They didn't have to play, they didn't have to play Michigan. They didn't have to play Oregon. Hey, come on. I mean, let's be realistic here. They can crap that schedule any way they want. And they do. And don't tell me every year, well, they've got that traditional game with Navy. Like, what? Really? The game they've lost once since 1963? Really? Oh. And that to me comes into it as well. I think the strength of schedule is not great. I don't think their strength of schedule is great.
Well, it's not going to get any better with the teams that they've dropped.
Or couldn't come to an agreement with.
Yeah, right. That's fair. That's a fair way to put it.
Okay, I don't want to be...
No, you're right. It's not that they dropped them. It's just they couldn't come to an agreement. Right. I mean, maybe they wanted to drop them, and that's why they couldn't come to an agreement. That's just an opinion.
Right. I don't think they wanted to drop them. I think for them, it's such a traditional game. But part of it is, what dates do you have for the game? And, but I mean, my point is, you can earn your way in. Like last year, they earned their way in. They were really good. They earned their way in. They lost the one game to Northern Illinois and then essentially could not lose another game the rest of the way and didn't. And did not. And they earned their way in and got to the national championship game. Okay. But they should not get an automatic just because they're in the top 12. What, you're 12th?
What if you're 12th, but you have 2 losses and one of them is not a quality loss, but you still end up 12th?
Yeah,
But then again, what's the criteria to be 12th? I don't even know anymore.
Well, I mean, look, I don't really have a big problem with, for the most part, with what they're doing as a committee. That doesn't bother me. I just don't think, I don't mind a team that won a championship, a conference championship, getting an automatic bid. That doesn't bother me in the least. It's a grind to win a conference championship, right? But when you're not in a conference and you're not facing that grind, I'm sorry.
I mean, let's face it. These decisions are being made with on, sometimes the eyeball test, sometimes the stat test, but it all comes down to someone making their own judgment. It's not based on scientific fact or, I'll give you a great example. This is like figure skating the Olympics. It's a judgment. There's nothing in there that says that if you do this, and this, you get this many points, and that's all there is to it. It's not like bobsled where if you're the fastest one down the hill, you win. There's a judgment in this, and that's where it's all going to end up, causing problems.
So you're saying in the Olympics, it's mostly judgment. It's kind of a rig thing?
Well, anybody that's watched figure skating already knew that.
And you love watching this?
I didn't say I love watching figure skating. I'll watch it, but that's one sport that I understand what they're doing. I don't know how they're scoring it. And they've changed it around so many times I can't even tell you anymore.
I mean, now you have Norwegians using certain stitching on the outfit to fly farther.
Well, I didn't hear about that.
You didn't know about that?
No.
That's another Olympic controversy. The Olympics are coming up. We got 2.5 weeks of fraud. Yeah.
There is an IndyCar driver in the Olympics.
As a ski jumper?
No.
Bobsled.
Simona Di Silvestro.
That's wonderful. So is Herschel Walker and Willie Gault.
That's true. I remember that.
That's why I said it. I knew it was true.
I remember that. And Jamaica's got a bobsled team.
Yeah, that's great. I saw Cool Runnings. Thank you, crikey. Yeah, where's this Norwegian thing?
Yeah, I hadn't heard about that. They have something on their outfits?
No, it's the way it's stitched.
Oh. It's kind of like the full body suit that they wore in swimming that one year, and everybody was breaking records, so they banned it.
Let's see, Norway.
See, this is the stuff you're not going to hear on your everyday sports broadcast, sports show.
I mean, do you want to talk about the fjords? I mean, no. Okay. Nice.
I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, it's an inlet. Norway ski scandal. Here we go. And
is that what you Googled was Norway ski scandal?
Yeah.
That's great.
What? It was the simplest way to get there.
I understand.
Let's see. Just weeks before the start of the Olympics, a cheating scandal that is equal parts bizarre and brazen, rocking one of the foundational sports. 11-month investigation and litigation. I know both of them shock you. The International Ski and Snowboard Federation, never knew they existed.
I did not know that they covered the figure skating. I did know they existed. I didn't know they covered figure skating.
No, ski and snowboard.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Oh, this isn't figure skating. I thought this was figure skating.
What?
Oh, all right.
So what are we doing?
All right. Now I'm following along with the trail that you're leaving.
Oh, golly, where are we going? They say the trio admitted conspiring to manipulate the suits that they wear to help them beat the competition at the Nordic World Ski Championships in Trondheim, Norway last year after a whistleblower filmed them through a curtain. This is where we are. And these are the sports that you ache for every 4 years.
Now, was it the ski suits or was it the ski and snowboard suits?
It's the ski suits.
Okay. All right. Well, which is probably, I mean, the snowboarders are wearing something completely different.
The athletes claimed ignorance. I'm sorry, I'm ignorant.
I think I would have worded that differently, but okay.
The coaches backed those claims.
Again, I think I would have worded that differently.
They feel their athletes are ignorant.
I think I would have worded that differently.
That's just me. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. And the athletes receive suspensions of 3 months, which they're able to serve during the summer. They are expected to compete in the Olympics next month.
So wait. So they qualified for the Olympics at this event.
Yes.
Theoretically, illegally.
Yes.
So we're going to suspend them after the Olympics that they were qualifying for illegally.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All righty then.
This is what you root for.
Listen, I was going to say, when you said this, I was thinking figure skating. I'm like, how in the world does that help? But I could see where it would help, like a downhiller or a slalom skier. It definitely is not going to help a snowboarder because they're not wearing that.
These are ski jumpers.
Oh, that's all right. Well, then, again, I could see how that would work there.
They're trying to be as aerodynamic as possible.
Exactly.
Okay? I'm just glad that after 10 minutes of conversation, we finally actually got you to the right sport.
It's the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat sport.
Even though I've said it 7 or 8 different times.
I heard ski. And the first time I heard I was thinking figure skating, so. The disconnect is between the headset and the head.
Right now, Norwegian men do not have a jumper in the top 10 in the overall World Cup standings this season. Its top-ranked female is 4th. Hopefully we'll get good Norwegian jumping results with the right kind of equipment, Sandoy said.
What exactly is the right kind of equipment?
Something that's obviously aerodynamic. Like, oh, goodness gracious, I'm going to miss a lot of this.
Now I really want to. Is it now? Let's see. They have the big hill and then the short hill.
Yes, they do.
And I'm assuming Nordic combined. They're worried about the Nordic combined as well, which is cross-country skiing and ski jumping.
Yes. I will watch probably none of this. I'm a little busy.
Listen, this is the only reason why I'm paying for Peacock right now.
During the Olympics, let me see. During the Olympics, what? Let me think now. When do they start? The 6th?
Yeah, it's right after the Super Bowl.
No, it's the opening ceremonies are before the Super Bowl. It's Friday. That's why Tirico can't do it.
Yeah, it is the 6th. You're right.
Oh,
6th to the 22nd.
Oh, why did I wake up?
And I forgot. I was thinking that it was. I was thinking it was the following week after that.
Yeah. So, I will be back on the 6th because I fly back from Detroit. 7th, I'm here. I have a game on the 8th. Then the Super Bowl. I'm here on the 9th, but then I have to fly to Seattle on the 10th. I have a game in Seattle on the 11th. And then we'll, after doing this show in Seattle, drive to Eugene with Dick Girardi. And then I may be able to see a little bit when I'm down there after I do the show on that Friday. Saturday, I've got a game. I'll drive back to Seattle and take a red-eye back to get back early Sunday. So how much of the Olympics am I watching that week?
There's a little thing called the app on your phone.
Not that interested.
I'm so that's sad. That's sad. You're going to miss some great stories.
Stories? What story? Everybody's got a story. That's why I always love. Oh, we're a great storytelling group. Oh, I can give you 1,000 stories. What? It's like, I just want to know who got down the hill the fastest. I really don't need to know. It's like,
the only thing that really has me a little bit upset.
Can you get down the mountain faster than the other people? That's what I need to know.
Without the polar bear chasing you, right?
You could be the greatest story on the face of the earth and finish 12th.
Yeah, the only thing that really concerns me about this is there was a event that I was at, and the on-field reporter in the stadium had a question about one of the players. What was your vibe today? And I'm like, what? Well, guess what the motto is for Milano Cortina? It's your vibe. That's the motto.
I thought the motto was, I hope we have enough snow.
Yeah, well, it could be, but that's the Milan Cortina motto. It's your vibe.
great.
Yeah, I wasn't excited about that part. Have you ever watched ski cross?
No.
That's fun.
I'm sure it's great.
That's fun. Snowboard cross, the same thing. It's like a windy, turny track, and you're actually racing down the hill against people in a tighter track, and it's four at a time.
I just need to know, did you get downhill the fastest, and did the U.S. hockey team win?
I don't disagree with any of that.
After that, I'm not. No.
My next question would be, how's the curling team doing? Okay,
so something where a gigantic disc creeps its way toward a target.
Right.
Need a little more action than that.
Well, all right. You've known me for a long time. You know how much I love the Olympics. I'm watching this. I'm watching the actual U.S. qualifiers. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, that's a great shot. Oh, it's right on the button. Oh, my wife turns to me and she goes, you are the dorkiest person I have ever met in my life, getting excited over a sport that no one's cheering about.
Look how they sweep. Oh,
I'm like, yeah, but she goes, do you realize nobody's getting as excited as you are right now? Not even the announcers.
Okay, there's a reason why it's on at 1 o'clock in the morning. Let's start with that.
Oh, I thought I was riveted.
Okay. There's a reason why it's not in prime time.
There's a reason it's on CNBC.
Exactly. Oh, look at that. Macy's is up 4 points. Wow. Oh, who won the curling thing? I don't know. Norway?
No, I actually started watching curling 2 Olympics ago, and I'm like, I actually like this. It's like chess on ice.
No, a lot of people like it.
But you're right. I'm much more excited than anybody else is.
No, but you know what? The practice rink in the back of Pagula.
Yeah.
They have curling targets out on that ice.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, they do have it out there. It's like, when I walked in, they go, what the heck is that? Oh, that's right, it's curling. I guess there's a curling club here.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That it's like golf. It's the one sport that you can do all your life. And if I wanted to ever make the Olympics, that's the only sport I could possibly even do.
Would you release the stone or would you sweep?
Oh, I want to have the stone.
Oh, I forgot. Sweeping entails movement.
Exactly. I just want to slide.
Look at that. Wow.
There's an art to that. I mean, you just glide.
There's an art to it?
He's a glide. Look at him glide. Now he's gonna release the stone. Oh, what a great turn on that. That's actually gonna curl right in there. Go for it. There it is. It's on the button. Maybe that's why they haven't asked me to do curling on NBC.
It's actually one of multiple reasons.
There's no really good curling calls, you know that?
Have you asked yourself why?
They just haven't found the right person to call it.
There's a reason why it's on at 1 o'clock in the morning in the East. Normally, announcing curling is your way to break into the Olympic announcing rotation.
I'll do it.
Hi, this is Season. For over 100 years, the Purdy Insurance Agency has been protecting families and businesses of the greater Susquehanna Valley and beyond. With the experience of our trained and knowledgeable staff, you can rest assured that your needs will be evaluated and met by some of the industry's best representatives. No matter what your insurance needs are, call Purdy Insurance today at 570-286-5855. Visit our website at purdyinsurance.com or check us out on Facebook to see what we can do for you.
111 years ago, John Oakley Mertz started Sunbury Motor Company. Over a century later, the values of hard work, dedication, attention to detail, and customer satisfaction are still as prevalent today as they were when the company was founded. Why buy from Sunbury Motors, you may ask? The answer is simple. Our determination to provide you with a buying experience filled with trust, integrity, and ease of mind. Every vehicle need for every customer is a little different, but one thing stays the same. We value every one of our customers. At Sunbury Motors, you're more than just a number. You're family. From our customers who have been buying from us for decades to the customer who bought from us yesterday, we thank you, value you, and look forward to continue working with you. Come visit us at the North 4th Street Auto Plaza in Sunbury, PA, or check out our website at www.sunburymotors.com and be treated to a buying experience like you have never had before.
SMC is where you want to be for your next new Ford F-150.
Bringing you an in-depth look at Penn State sports and more. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. The Steve Jones Show is presented by Brewers Outlet, Sunbury Motor Company, and Purdy Insurance. Now, from the Sunbury Motors Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Okay, here comes the stock-up part now. It's Brewers Outlet, Reagan Street in Sunbury, the beverage supermarket. Imports, domestics, microbrews, the best selection of beer anywhere. Wine coolers, water, soft drink, snacks. They roast their peanuts fresh and hot every day. 6 great flavors of slushies. And ready-to-drink cocktails, High Noon, Jack Daniel's Crown Royal, Pickle Bar led by the Barrels and the Dills, indeed second to none. All at Brewers Outlet, Reagan Street in Sunbury, the beverage supermarket. All right, we're going to talk some hockey now. Seems appropriate considering the weather. So bring Joe Brandon, the voice of the Pittsburgh Penguins. First of all, Joe, welcome. Great to have you with us.
Hey, always good to join you, Steve. How you doing?
Doing really well, and maybe I'll run into you next Saturday. I'm actually going to go to the Rangers game. I've got 8 tickets for that game I'm going to on Saturday, so looking forward to it.
Lucky guy, the 2016 reunion.
Yes, looking forward to it very much, and so is the family, and we're going to have a great time. I know Penn State's playing the Beaver Stadium game here, but I asked them about it, and they said, it's going to be cold outside. I said, the arena's nice and warm. They go, we're going. So we're in. Hey, 3 goals, 37 seconds. And Mo Mantha was a big part of that last night. When you look at that sequence, what struck you about it?
I think the main thing is how ready the Penguins came to play on the second half of a back-to-back and against a very well-rested Edmonton Oilers team. I mean, the Edmonton Oilers are who they are already with Connor McDavid and with Leon Draisaitl, who was a surprise to the lineup yesterday. But then for the Penguins to come out with that big punch and 3 goals before the Edmonton Oilers can even take a second shot, I think was huge. I kind of made the joke that after that happened, they basically had to play the rest of the game like a penalty kill because you knew Edmonton was going to have a strong push, and they did a little bit in the second period, but the Penguins probably played their most impressive game of the entire season with the way they were able to jump out to such a good start. You know, they played as well defensively as they did offensively, but 3 goals in 37 seconds. I mean, you get a little help, you get a little luck, but you also create your own luck, and I think the Penguins did a really good job of that.
Hey, Joe, tell me if I'm wrong about this. I think since the holiday break, they're 10-2-2. Does that sound right?
11-3-1.
11-3-1. Okay, so 11-3-1. What has now allowed this team to put it into a position where they're potentially a buyer and not a seller?
I think they back to what made them so successful in the beginning of the year, and that was mainly having every guy play to their role. And it's a little cliche in hockey, I know, but I think the way this team was constructed by Kyle Dubas, he knew that he had to get a little bit creative with these players. I mean, he went out and got a lot of guys that could use a scene change, could use a new opportunity where they weren't getting looks anywhere else. I mean, look at Anthony Mantha, who, he dealt with an ACL injury last year, I should say. only played 13 games. But, man, as he found a home here, he came out right out of the gate with Evgeny Malkin and Justin Brazeau. And then even when Malkin went down on the injury back in December, he was still able to continue some chemistry with Justin Brazeau. And, I mean, there's just so many guys that have situations and stories like these, like Parker Wotherspoon and Justin Brazeau. And even to an extent, Blake Lizotte. I know this is his second year with the Penguins, but, I mean, that guy has been this incredible motor for the team that has helped propel the fourth line to being such a important, valued fourth line, where I was talking with Colby Armstrong about this yesterday. Every time the Penguins score, they put out that fourth line right away to kind of keep the tempo, keep the pace, keep that pressure going on the other team. Every time the power plays over, that fourth line goes out there. And actually, I don't have the numbers or the statistics of it. I want to look this up. But I'm pretty sure the fourth line has played together most throughout the entire season, only behind the Sidney Crosby, Ricard Raquel, Brian Rust line. So, I mean, there's just so many guys that are playing to their roles, playing to their strengths, and when everybody does their job, this team is able to really outperform other teams. And it took a little bit to get there. I mean, I know they had a really good, strong performance out of the gate, but they took a really rough homestand. I mean, it was the worst homestand in franchise history back in December. Yeah. They went 0-4-1 or maybe 0-3-2. You know, they were blowing third period leads left and right, and it was pretty detrimental. But then that Christmas break, I feel like everyone just took a deep breath and realized, okay, we're still a good team, and they've kind of returned to that level now as of late, and it hasn't stopped since the Christmas break.
I know Tristan Jarry has been hurt, but he and Connor Ingram, for the most part, have been a pretty good tandem for Edmonton since the trade. Stuart Skinner did not go last night, but when you look at what he's done in the last 6 or 7 games, what has that meant to the Penguins, his presence in net, and to the rotation that they have in net?
Huge. It's meant a lot, and, you know, kind of going back to your previous question as well, I think the goaltending has been just so solid all year long, no matter who's been in there. And they've kind of gone through this rotation of switching guys almost every night. Yeah. And they've kind of gone with that because it's worked. I mean, Stuart Skinner playing in back-to-back games with Seattle and Calgary, I think it's only the second or third time the Penguins have gone with the same goalie in back-to-back games all season long. Mm-hmm. But Skinner's arrival, you know, came with a lot of drama, right? He and Brett Kulak had to take about a week to get their visas figured out and, be able to actually be added to the Penguins roster. And then when they finally did, it was just kind of a rush, right? You're playing a lot of games every other day. Both those guys have never played for an American NHL team. Stuart Skinner really only knows Edmonton, being from there, only playing with the Edmonton Oilers. Right. So, you know, maybe they got off to a little bit of rocky starts, more so Skinner than Kulak. But they both talked about how important that Christmas break was, because they had a few days to just kind of take a breath, realize what had happened, kind of find homes, get situated with their families. I mean, these are big parts of being traded that people don't realize. You know, it's not just all about what happens during the games. It's everything surrounded with it. So I think they both really well adjusted since that Christmas break as well. And Stuart Skinner is just such a positive guy. I mean, again, he went to back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals with the Edmonton Oilers from Edmonton, the only team he knows, and then they send him away. And what's his mindset, his mentality been? I literally heard him say the first day he came that, I used to get to learn from Connor McDavid, now I get to learn from Sidney Crosby. How lucky am I? Like that's his mindset. So the Penguins are really lucky to have a guy like that in between their pipes, and it's really shown as of late. Like you said, 6-1-1 over his last 7. There's only been one game during that stretch that he's allowed more than one goal, and even the lone loss that he had. 6-1-1 in his last, or 6-1-0 in his last 7. Right. The lone loss that he's had, he gave up one goal to the Boston Bruins. He was just outplayed by their goaltender Jonas Korpisalo that day.
Well, 1.60 goals against average in that span. Amazing. That wins you almost every time. Geno Malkin, 39. I know he keeps getting asked about retirement. He's like, well, you guys are the ones that keep asking me. I love playing. Well, when you see the level he is playing at, because right now he's relatively, everybody's banged up this time of the year, but relatively injury-free, what has that meant to the Penguins getting that additional element in there that they didn't really have most of last year?
Yeah, I mean, Gino is such we'll call it a polarizing player, but that's because when he's on, he is really on. And when he is able to provide, I mean, he can do things no one else can. And I think we're getting that type of Evgeny Malkin right now. Mm-hmm. And even with that absence he had with an injury earlier this year, he's still putting up, I think, 15 points in his last 11 games around that 15-game absence. So, that was clearly something he was dealing with, even though he was able to produce for it. So it's remarkable what he's able to do on a game-by-game basis. And, I think everyone knows, Penguins fans know especially, that there's going to be some moments where maybe he makes a play that you're scratching your head about and you're a little frustrated about, but what he's able to overcome with it and what he's able to do outside of that on the positive end, like what he's done the past couple of nights. I mean, the goal and the assist in the last 2 games, his line has been flying. He's been finding all this chemistry with Igor Chinikov. It's really impressive to see that this guy is still doing it at his age.
Look, obviously it's a big deal when Sidney Crosby goes into every town. It was a big deal when you saw him play for the Penguins. Now that you see him on an everyday basis on the Penguins side of it, what do you think now that maybe you didn't think about before with him?
So much, because that's honestly what I say when people ask about him, because every day he does something more remarkable than the last. In fact, just last night, the goal he had against Edmonton, we were talking about it on the bus on the way to the airport. We couldn't believe what he was able to do, because it's Ryan Shea at the point. You see Sidney Crosby like kind of at the top of the circles at the hash marks, and he just flings a strong pass to him that Crosby is aware of. He angles his stick so that the puck goes deflected towards the net. I mean, this is a long redirection, and when you see the highlight, you just think, oh, okay, another goal by Crosby, wow, cool. But when you really see what he's able to do and how he was able to have the wherewithal that, hey, maybe I can get one towards the net, not even past Tristan Jarry, but towards the net here with this situation, let me try this. And it works. And it's every day with that kind of stuff. And I think you got to credit Ryan Shea, too, to being aware of that. But he only gets to that point when playing with Sidney Crosby and knowing what he's capable of. It's just really, really a thing to marvel at what he's able to do.
Yeah, because, look, the young man Gavin McKenna is here at Penn State, and many think he has an opportunity to be the first overall pick in the draft. And he wasn't scoring a ton of goals early. And somebody said, well, is he a disappointment? I said, no. I said, watch how he plays. He knows where the other 11 chess pieces are in the ice. It's just a different view. I see Sidney Crosby, and in watching his entire career, I just feel like he knows where every chess piece is all the time out there, because he has a different feel for it than anybody else.
No, you're absolutely right. I think you hit it right on the head, because that's exactly what we were talking about last night. It's his ability to do that, because it's not even just him trying to score a goal. It's him trying to set up something or make a strong long stretch pass out of almost nowhere. Just his vision, his ability to see these things before they even happen is just incredible. It's something that you can't put on a stat sheet. You can't compute. It's almost even hard to scout, I would say, just because, how are you able to prove, the guy's got great vision? You hear that a lot, but how are you able to prove that? That's really hard to do. And honestly, I'll give credit to Kyle Dubas and his staff, too, for going out and getting Ben Kindle, because I see a lot of those tendencies from him, too. I know he's been a little quiet as of late and going through some growing pains here in the NHL, but I think that's the other thing. The main thing we talked about when he first came to the NHL was how impressed we were with his vision, with his decision-making. And I get you can see that at a lower level, but how often do you see that and know that, hey, this is going to translate to the NHL? But it has, and he does, and it's really impressive what these scouts are able to do, too.
All right. You and I both know and have great respect for Mike Sullivan. All right. That's obvious. But change was made, and Dan Muse comes in. What effect has he had in approach that has made a difference for this team and its lineup?
I think the biggest thing is just a breath of fresh air, something new, something different. You already said it. I mean, every time we talk about Mike Sullivan, you have to preface it with, we understand he's a great coach. He's, one of the best coaches out there, the best coach in Penguins franchise history, the only coach in Penguins franchise history to win multiple cups. I mean, the list goes on and on. But at some point, some things need to change in order to just get a different voice in the room. And I think Kyle Dubas put it best when he announced that the Penguins and Mike Sullivan will be parting ways, that sometimes the class needs a new teacher and sometimes the teacher needs a new class. And in this case, it was probably both. And I think Dan Mue's approach is just not vastly different, but very different from Mike Sullivan's. And the team is able to respond to that because it's so new, and they're ready to accept something different and try things a different way in order to pick up more wins. I think he's really strong at communicating well with his entire coaching staff, with the players. I think that was one of the strongest suits about him when bringing him in. I keep saying this, that his resume, and I get it, coaches' resumes often look like this, but at so many different levels and at so many different roles. He wasn't just a head coach the entire way up. He wasn't just in the NHL the entire way up. He wasn't just in the minors or in juniors or in lower levels the entire way up. He did a little bit of everything. And I think that matches what type of roster he's dealing with right now, because he's got so many esteemed veterans. He's got a couple of rookies that are hoping to take a real big step, and then he's got a lot of middle guys that are trying to prove their worth in the NHL. So I think it's easy for all those types of players to listen to a guy like Dan Muse, and it's totally paid off.
Off day today, a little bit of practice tomorrow, then they play Vancouver. How impressed have you been by how they have scheduled and handled what normally is a grind of a trip?
Really well. I know Seattle and Calgary are in Edmonton, but it was nice to see the Penguins pick up those wins, take care of business right away. Mm-hmm. And then it was really nice to see them not take their foot off the gas in Edmonton. I think they get amped up for games like that, though. If you remember earlier in the year, they played Tampa in kind of a similar situation. They won that game. They kind of got bailed out by a hand pass that shouldn't have been a hand pass to Brandon Hagel. But this team just seems very motivated right now, and I think they're starting to believe in themselves again a little bit more. And I will honestly say that after last night, I don't think I've seen the vibes higher with this team this year. Yeah. So they got a lot of good things going right now. I honestly love how the schedule works out for them, where they just completed 4 games in 6 days. Now they have 2 games in the next 5 days. So it's kind of an opportunity to really soak in what they did well yesterday, take a deep breath, and get back to work on Sunday, which you want to wrap it up still, right? You got to close things up. You got to button things up. You can't take your foot off the gas pedal here. And the other thing is, the Olympic break is coming up. Once that's over, it's going to be quite the grind. I mean, basically a game every other day. I think it's even averaging to less than that. So it's going to be really tough for this team that's got a little bit of an older roster. So I think that's why these wins are even more valuable than most for other teams.
I was just about to bring that up because somebody had asked me, between my Penn State football and Penn State basketball broadcasting schedule, when can I go to a game? And, of course, I go to sit down and look at the schedule, and I looked at everybody and I said, I forgot about the Olympics. They're not home in February. It's like, okay. So that's why we're going to go Saturday. But the momentum heading into it, and then the break, how do you view this tail end to get them that cushion going into what's going to be an elongated break?
Yeah, I think they just got to stick to their guns, right? Stick to what's working right now, and nobody can let up, really, because, they've got all these high-end star power offensive personalities, but you can't rely on those. It's the reason why they've been winning these games and winning these games so impressively is because everyone's been producing. And let's also face it, the special teams have helped out a big deal too. Yes. I know they haven't had too many power play goals as of late, but the penalty kill has been fantastic. So it's going to take a little bit of everything. And I think when the team was going through their struggles of blowing their third period leads and, having the worst homestand in franchise history, it was kind of relying on a big goal by somebody and no one could step up. Right now, everyone's stepping up. It doesn't matter if it's Sidney Crosby or Kenny Malkin. Anthony Mantha is going to score 2 goals in 22 seconds against the Edmonton Oilers, and all of a sudden you're going to feel better about yourself. So I think that's how this team is made up too. I think it's a spade calling a spade a spade. You can't really disguise this team as anything else, but you really got to give credit to Kyle Dubas and his staff for constructing what seems to be such a well-rounded team that really believes in themselves and believes in each other.
Knowing you, it may be an off day, but you're also putting in a lot of work. So I appreciate the fact that you gave us some time today on what is your, quote, off day, work day, to spend some time with us. We really appreciate it, Joe.
Hey, Steve, always happy to hop on. You know that. You give me a call whenever, and just helps my walk around Vancouver be a little bit more wonderful. So I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate it, Joe. Thanks so much.
All right, take care.
He does a great job. It's an outstanding job, in fact. So appreciate having him on the show today. This half hour has been brought to you by our good friends at Brewers Outlet, Reagan Street in Sunbury. The beverage supermarket, imports, domestics, microbrews. The best selection of beer anywhere. Wine coolers, water, soft drink, snacks. They roast their peanuts fresh and out every day. Ready to drink cocktails, High Noon, Jack Daniels, Crown Royal, Pickle Bar, led by the Barrels and the Dills. Indeed, second to none on News Radio 1070 WKOK.